guys, how you all doing? Hope you're doing well. AviationGames here. Today we're going to be taking a, well, I was going to say short flight, but it's about an average length of a flight. This is about 2 hours 15 minutes from here at Murcia in Spain up to Bristol in the United Kingdom. We are EZY31AK today. We'll be cruising at flight level 340. And as I say, 2 hours 15 minutes is the estimated flight time. And you can see the route that we're going to be flying on screen there in front of you now. Okay, so today we're flying Alicante, Alpha Lima Tango, Lima 150 to Astro, Upper Breck 300 to Delog, and Upper November 864 to the Berryhead VOR. So, as you can see, GSX is doing its thing, getting the catering services on board, etc, etc. But I think it's our time to jump inside, start setting up the aircraft, and get on our way to Bristol. Alright guys, so here we are, overhead panel. You can see the batteries and the external power are on. We will turn on the beacon lights and we'll actually turn on the overhead integrities because it is a little dark in here. We'll turn on the fasten seatbelt signs. And pretty certain the ADRSs are already aligned to nav, which they are. So we'll do an APU fire test. And then we'll do the engine fire test, but I'm just going to close the doors here for GSX before it shouts at me. So yeah, engine 1 fire test we will do now. That's positive, and engine 2 also positive. Brilliant. Okay, so the catering service has completed. That's pretty much everything in the overhead, so we'll come down and start setting up the MCDU. So as I say, Lima Echo, Lima Charlie to Echo Golf Golf Delta, and I've already exported a flight plan, as you can see there. So we'll load it in. Our flight number EZY31 Alpha Kilo. Alpha Kilo. Cost index of 12. And flight level 340 for the cruise. Right, so I'm going to go and load in the fuel and then pick it back up when we enter the block fuel into the MCDU, select our departure, etc. Okay, so I have loaded in the load sheet. Or sorry, I've created the load sheet. Let me just initialize it, and then we'll start boarding the passengers, the cargo, and the fuel. So we need 11.4 tons of fuel, so we'll enter that as our block fuel, 11.4. All is good there. I'll also start boarding on GSX, so request boarding. And Lima Echo, Lima Charlie, we're departing from 05 left, it looks like. 05 right, we'll temporarily insert that, and then I just want to be sure of the SID, so 05 left. Yeah, it's going to be 05 right, so 05 right on the Alicante to Echo departure. Insert. And let's make sure all our flight plan's there, which it is. Perfect. If we go to the performance page then, we'll be taking off with flaps 1, which gives us those V speeds, which I'm happy with. Transition altitude 6,000 feet. Thrust reduction is 1500, acceleration 3,000 feet. And engine out acceleration 1500 feet. Okay, we've got a flaps retraction speed of 129 knots, which is strange. Okay, well, we'll go with it. So initially 6,000 feet out of here. The QNH is 1022. So we'll set 1022. Passengers starting to board, so we'll wait for them to finish boarding and then we can get on our way for Bristol. Okay guys, so the passengers have finished boarding, we can fire up the APU, get all the fuel pumps on. And just wait for the APU to fire up, so we'll monitor on the lower ECAM display here, where you can see it's about a third of the way there. The exhaust gas temperature is rising as it should be, then it's starting to fall again, also as it should. GSX has finished boarding, but yeah, the MCDU's boarding thing hasn't really finished yet, and it hasn't finished loading in the fuel, so obviously we need to wait for that. So to be fair, I probably shouldn't have started the APU before the fuel's on board, but oh well, we've done it now. It's only simulation. There's only about 1,000 people that are going to shout at me in the comments for it, but yeah, it's simulation. Okay, so the APU is up and running. We'll leave the bleed off for now, and we can get rid of the external power. We'll close up all the doors, ready to go. Obviously we can't shut the front left and the aft left yet because of boarding. And ground services will remove the GPU, the wheel trucks, traffic cones, and yeah, so we're just waiting for passengers to board, and then we can get underway. Okay guys, so boarding and the fuel has loaded, so we can close up all the doors. Okay, so we're going to request push to start now, and we want to face tail right, nose left, so let's prepare for pushback and departure. I don't want to start engines before pushback. And we'll set the ECAM's display page to the engines.
Hello, Captain. You're ready for pushback.
Cool, I'm ready for pushback too. Thank you very much. There we go. So, AP bleed coming off. Taxi lights and turn off lights can come on. Yeah, that's everything. Alright guys, let's get taxiing for Bristol then.
Approaching 05.
Okay guys, here we are approaching runway 05 right. Let's get lined up.
On runway 05.
Overshot the line up just a little bit. It's okay. There we are. Okay, hold the brakes down with the toes. And 50%. Engine stable. Release the brakes. And flex, SRS, runway, and the power set. Also start the chrono. Under knots, V1. Rotate. Positive rate of climb, gear up. Just going to manually fly it, following the flight director. Climb thrust now. Lovely stuff. Okay, just approaching 3,000 feet, which is our acceleration altitude. We'll go up to 220 knots. Okay, we can bring the flaps up. I was thinking we could maybe be able to see the airfield down there, but we can't. So guys, goodbye to Alicante. Hello Bristol. Okay guys, welcome back. We changed the flight level to flight level 380, just because I must have accidentally set flight level 380. So yeah, that's basically what's happened. Anyhow, as you can probably see on our navigation display, just under 20 miles until we reach top of descent. So what I'm going to do is start planning in the arrival. Just looking at the weather at Bristol, the winds are 210 degrees at 9 knots, bearing between 170 and 250 degrees. So it's definitely going to be a runway 27 arrival. So into Bristol, arrival, ILS 27, and it's going to be the Bristol to Delta arrival today for the ILS runway 27, and we need to be flight level of 160, I believe, by Tinnin. So if we find Tinnin, which is there, and put flight level 160. Flight level 160. Not aligned, okay. What about 280 slash flight level 160. There we go. Cool. Right, so let's start our descent, I suppose, down to flight level 160. And I'll pick it up again when we're at about. I'll pick it up again once we're at about 5,000 feet or so. Alright guys, welcome back. We're at 5,000 feet now. Speed 220 knots. We're just going to descend now down to 3,000 feet, at which altitude we can intercept the glide path. And heading 090 downwind for the LS runway 27. I'm going to bring the speed further back to 200 knots and set the QNH for Bristol, which is 1015. Cool, so that's all done. I suppose we can begin our left turn now onto a heading of 360 degrees. And just double check the ILS is all in the course, which it is. So we can turn on the landing system now. Take flaps 1. And there we go, 3,000 feet. Just coming up. Speed 180 knots. Left 300 degrees. And arm the localizer, which we have now picked up. Bring tech flaps 2. And alarm the approach phase. And we'll get the glide. Okay, glide is captured as well. I'll wait until we get established on the localizer. And then we can drop the gear. Okay, we'll just speed now to 160 knots as well. We can arm the spoilers. Take the gear down now. And with that, we'll take flaps 3. Just to 130. Textures for Bristol a little bit blurry at the minute, but they'll sort themselves out once we get closer. Don't know why they're flickering like that. It's weird. Anyhow, flaps full. And we're landing no blue on the upper ecam, always a good sign. Okay, very nice, here we go.
500.
Just focused on that centre line.
400.
I've picked my point where I want to touch down.
300. 200. 100. 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. 5.
Okay, very nice. Right in the middle.
900 meters remaining.
Let's get some braking on the way.
600 meters remaining.
And then disengage that reverse thrust. Lovely. Alright, let's go to the overhead. And landing lights can come off. Set the taxi lights on. And we'll fire up the APU. And continue taxiing down to the end of the runway. Flaps can come up. Disarm the ground spoilers. And once we vacate the runway, stop the clock. 2 hours 17 minutes, so we're 2 minutes late. Nearly going to say 2 hours late. We're 2 minutes late. But yeah, that's not a massive problem. Okay, so get GSX to give us a stand. Gate 5 will do. Don't need to follow me, and handle it by EasyJet, of course. Okay, let's slow it down, turn it off. Oh, I forgot to turn the strobe lights off. Turn off the taxi lights and all that. Beacon, all the external lights. And we'll turn into stand 5. Okay, yeah, your GSX guy there is, he still wants us to go forward. I don't know what he's doing inside the building. That's interesting. Okay, we'll stop there. And set the parking brakes. And the APU and bleed is on, so we're fine to shut down the engines. Parked a bit too far to the left. Well, yeah, I did park to the left of him. And our engine kind of wiped out the stairs. Rip. But yeah, I have no idea what your guy was doing standing in there. It was a bit weird. Anyhow, we shall open up the doors and request deboarding. And we'll put this back into a turnaround state, so the fuel pumps can now come off. We'll get the external power in if we can. We'll trot some traffic cones. Turn the external power off, and then we can get rid of the APU. It saves on fuel. Passenger seatbelt signs can come off. Okay, GSX just crashed. That was interesting. Okay, so yeah, that looks to be the turnaround state. Alright guys, well, thank you very much indeed for watching today. Hope you enjoyed this flight from Murcia over to Bristol. And this has been AviationGames. See you all again very soon. Bye for now guys.